late night stream, and we have some breaking news. This has been a pretty crazy day in politics with everything that's going on. Afghanistan, uh, a lot of civilians was killed in a terrorist attack, suicide bombing, but now we also have the Supreme Court shooting down Biden's eviction moratorium. And I have a lot to say about that. We're going to break this down together as a late night stream. First thing first, let me tweet the link to the stream out. If you guys are joining me, make sure you guys say what's up. I'm going to get the Twitch version now, and people can join me on YouTube if they want to. But I just saw this, and I feel like we can discuss and go through this together, because this is exactly what we was warning you guys about at Fred Hampton Leftist. Do you guys remember when everyone was taking a victory lap after the stunt that was pulled by Corey Bush and the squad, and they wanted you to be satisfied with that? This is exactly why we at Fred Hampton Leftist saying that there's still a lot of fighting to be done. And by us pointing that out, yeah, a lot of people who are there, I can call them nothing but, yeah. How you doing, Worry Pilgrim? Thanks for joining my late night stream today. We can call them nothing else other than incrementalism pushers and advocates, because that's what they are. So let me tweet it out. I still haven't tweeted this out. We still got a few homies here. I guess I Twitch. I think I sent out my YouTube version. I tweeted out Twitch last time, so let me. I'm pretty sure just copy the title, because they just came out, so we gonna learn about this story a lot more together. I gotta share my thoughts as well, because once again, Fred Hampton Leftist was proven correct. the professional managerial left, they were so busy demanding everyone praise the squad, praise Corey Bush. And I'm like, why would we praise them for a job that's not even half done? Because we all knew this was coming. Also, I have a few articles I want to share, which show why I was raising the red flag days ago. So let me I'll tweet my YouTube link out. Let me know when you guys are in chat. I want to talk to you guys. If you guys heard any stories or any articles you want to share. My stream at Social CMA is very interactive, so let me know, guys. We can talk about Afghanistan a little bit too. Hope you guys check out the Fred Hampton Leftist roundtable that we had today. I didn't join today, but it was a good show as always. I was listening. We had Rome and Jackie in the house. It was always good to see. Covering and breaking this down now. If you guys want to share the stream, that can help. There we go. Oh, we got Dee Dee in the house. I'm gonna say your real name. Yeah, how you doing, William? You took care of that for one day, Dee Dee. I could drink like 2 of them Powerades in one day. So let's see what you guys are talking about. Yeah, Haplin, this is a great comment on Haplin's part. It was the CDC's moratorium. Biden specifically said he didn't want it on numerous occasions, by the way. Lovely gent he is. That's Joe Biden for you, that Jim Crow Joe. How deeply sick is our country? I'm not ignoring you. Thank you for sharing radical leftist agenda. But how deeply sick is our country? Where I think the number is 11 million. 11 million people may go homeless because of this decision. And before this, hey D, I'll talk to you in a second. Hold up. I'll just launch this live stream. I haven't done one on my personal channel, I think, since last Saturday. And I wanted to talk about this. So here's the actual story. Robin said, damn nigga, I was almost about to go to bed. Yeah, I know you can catch my personal stream late at night. I don't like streaming at the same time as my Fred Hampton Leftist comrades, my brothers and sisters. Les Bone said Diddy be swimming with the mermaids. Diddy already know how I feel about mermaids. That's between us, though. That's between us. Radical leftist agenda is in the house. So this is the story. So let's actually dive into some details. I didn't tell you I was streaming DD because I wasn't planning on doing that. I just decided to fire up the stream because we got some things we can talk about today. Supreme Court throws Biden administration eviction moratorium. So here's the story. If a federally opposed eviction moratorium is to continue, Congress must specifically authorize it, the court wrote in an unsigned 8-page opinion. Remember when we was pointing this out? When there was a ton of people who would just focus on praising Cori Bush, they'll focus on praising the squad, even though the job was not done. Because what we were saying was, okay, we have the Supreme Court case that may overturn it. And you guys could have addressed it via Congress a long time ago. And that's something that people as popular as AOC, Cori Bush, Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, they could have been flagging this. They flagged at the very last second for a photo shoot and as a PR stunt. And to be honest, it was an amazing PR stunt, straight up. Jimmy Dore's Garage was on the Twitch side. How you doing, brother? Or sister, sorry, I don't know what gender you are. Diddy, you had to stop. You had to stop. I always want to say, I don't know. This is my Punisher shirt. It's nothing. It's nothing. But they had a chance to address this via Congress, and we knew that the eviction moratorium was going to expire. No, I don't want to sign to your newsletter, CNN. Jesus. And what they're saying, the Supreme Court is saying, if you want to have a eviction moratorium, you got to pass it through Congress. Meanwhile, no one was raising the flag about this, even though leftists were saying, like, yo, we have a massive homelessness crisis that we have to do something about. I'm streaming at the same time with Jackson. Oh, well. I love our little community we have here. But instead of like calling this out weeks in advance, they was busy doing PR for the Democratic Party and Joe Biden. Where Bernie would do all the time. They would say, "Oh, Joe Biden's Americans Rescue Plan." Like, instead of doing PR for Joe Biden, why not raise awareness for the homelessness crisis that is happening that we covered multiple times on our show, on Fred Hampton Leftist, on my show. We constantly talk about homelessness. Chris Eliza, the Ryan Graham of CNN, says Jimmy Dore's Garage. Funny stuff. I'm sorry. I literally just jumped on stream. I didn't have any chance to get ready. So I'm sorry I don't look great, Diddy. DJ L. Congrats on getting Fred Hampton Leftist to blow. Cut out for telling the truth. I don't think we're blown. We ain't blown yet. Like, there's levels to this. There's levels to this shit. Pretty much. There's levels to this shit. We doing well. Much better than we thought we would be doing. But we are on the road 10,000 subscribers. But that's nothing compared to a lot of the other people are doing so far. We still got a lot of work to do. Hey, A-Box 400, how you doing? Alright, let's go back to the article. Sorry. So they had the 3 liberal justices dissented. There's not a ton of information because this is breaking news. In a brief file with the Supreme Court on Monday, the Biden administration said the Delta variant of coronavirus has propelled a new surge of cases in recent weeks, justifying the new extension. I actually covered this on Fred Hampton Leftist as well. And this shows the moral depravity of neoliberals in the Democratic Party, because their logic behind extending the eviction moratorium was, we can't have a ton of people go homeless because coronavirus is surging again. That is not the reason. It's a good reason, but the reason why we're supposed to extend the eviction moratorium is because it's immoral for millions of Americans to go homeless. That is society destabilizing event. But they're just saying, oh, it's just because of coronavirus. It wasn't for that we let these people go homeless. That's their argument. That is how capitalists view how society should operate. Halpern said their job of fucking the poor. The Supreme Court, the Supreme Court has always been class loyal. They always make horrific decisions, and they always been really corporate bought. Thank you for the subscription, my friend Evan. Thank you. So let's dive into and get some more information on here. But they're pretty much saying that we have to extend the eviction moratorium because we can't have people go homeless because of COVID-19. No, we should not be having people go homeless in this period in the country, but let alone in an economic collapse that is due to capitalism's inability to handle a pandemic. Now we're seeing a lot of liberal-minded people who they just want to blame the unvaccinated for the surge in the pandemic. I don't necessarily buy that. It seems like that's a way to put all the onus on people with no power instead of putting the onus on the fact that our government has failed us. We should be locking down. We should be locking down again because we are surging on level. I'm gonna see if I can find some sources. But I was reading through this, but we've been surging almost like it's the peak of COVID right now. But as I said before, a Democrat is not going to handle this pandemic any different than Republicans because we had Joe Biden that has been lying to people and saying that this is just a pandemic of the unvaccinated, despite the fact that there are a lot of people who are vaccinated are being hospitalized as well. We have hospital beds that are being overrun, people being turned away from the hospital because they don't have no space. And this is because of the failing of the ruling class. Because just like Donald Trump, Joe Biden wants people to die for capitalism. They want to open schools. I remember liberals melted down when Donald Trump opened schools during the height of a COVID surge. But then Joe Biden, the Democratic Party, does the same exact thing. Same exact thing. My friend Anthony Clark Jr. has COVID because he's a teacher. And that's every single school is a super spreader event. And we see that. Thank you for the subscription, Brian Clifford. If I have any other new viewers watching, go ahead and subscribe as well. See, this Twitch guy said no more lockdown. This will be an endemic. We should pay people to stay home. I think that's the real socialist approach to handling this. Capitalists, they don't want to pay us, so they want to force us to go work. They want to force us to business to open when, because my stance will always be protecting the workers. There are workers that are against it because we are not in a position where we should be able to handle COVID-19. Well, we really do need to be in a position where we can lock down, but we need to pay people a UBI in order to afford that. Mark said, "Who's gonna pay for that?" Huh? Huh? Are you really gonna say that after the fact that we extend the military budget? It doesn't make sense. We have the money. We gave trillions of dollars to billionaires. So the idea that we can't afford that is ridiculous. And Haplin said, bro, they're getting hundreds of billions to the stock market every month. So that's the thing. Like the only argument against locking down and paying people to stay home is, oh, we can't afford that. And if you don't think we can afford that, you're just deeply uninformed. They're just deeply uninformed. Now, the reason why people don't want to lock down, and they are very accurate in this assessment, they say they don't want to lock down because that will ruin the economy. But that's because capitalism cannot handle a pandemic. So they locked down. They didn't pay people. They gave people crumbs. So local businesses was failing. People lost a lot of money. So that's why people don't want to lock down, because under neoliberal capitalism, we lock down and we say, oh, screw you, you're on your own. But under a realistic approach, you can lock down, pay people to stay home, have the very, very essential businesses open with very safe regulations, and you can still have the economy strive. Yeah, Haplin said, fucking morons so eager to die for their bosses. Sorry, yeah, I'm not dying for capitalism. And anyone who suggests we should is the bootlicker of the highest order. And if you think that we can't afford to pay people to stay home in order to get this pandemic under control, we can't pay people to get vaccinated, that's what I think we should do, pay people to get vaccinated. Because we have all the money in the world. We have all the money to do that. Yeah, Riley said Mark. Yeah, Mark is on some bootlicker shit right now. If you really believe that we can't afford to pay people to stay home, and we just increased the military budget by, I think it was like $80 billion. We gave Wall Street a ton of money. We gave corporate America a ton of money, and now billionaires. They might well be trillionaires. Billionaires have increased their wealth by trillions and trillions of dollars ever since the start of this pandemic. But you think we can't afford that? That's beyond ridiculous. So, all right, look, I'm going to find some more sources. And I'm going to read some comments here, too. Other than Mark. Mark has nothing to add. Nothing important to add, at least. Okay. Mark has nothing important to add here. So, what are your guys' thoughts? Anyway, I went on... This is not about COVID and all this stuff, but obviously all this stuff is relevant. But let's go back to the eviction moratorium. I want to see what some chatter is. But this was my initial take. Because I remember the whole Cori Bush thing. And there were so many people who are squad sycophants. These are the people who want us to apologize and defend the squad at all costs. They was like, oh, see, this is an example of why you guys saying that the squad is worthless. You guys was proven wrong by Cori Bush. This is a lot of, like, the establishment progressives. They were trying to use what Cori Bush did as a got you against us. As got you against people who are critical of Cori Bush and the squad. Meanwhile, for the leftists, we were saying that's ridiculous. Because Cori Bush proved exactly what we were saying from day one. From day one, we were saying the squad is not using the power the way they should be using it. So when Cori Bush and the squad and a lot of the progressive politicians, then the Democrat establishment co-opted the movement as well, when you had the worst of the worst, Chuck Schumer, a lot of the other corporate imperialist Democrats were showing up at the protest for PR stunt because the squad is so popular. Whenever they decide to do a direct action, like actually sleeping at the Capitol steps, that will get news. So they were like, oh, see the squad, see you guys don't like the squad, see they are doing something. I'm like, this actually proves our point. Because it's actually you guys who were claiming that we had unrealistic expectations of the squad. You know, when we told you guys that the squad should force a vote, when the squad should support Medicare for All marches, how we were saying how the squad should be bringing up the homelessness crisis weeks before the eviction moratorium was set to expire. When you guys should shut down... Like, you guys should be on protest for the fact that we don't got health care in the middle of a pandemic. The fact that you had a Senate parliamentarian, quote unquote, that was shutting down a $15 minimum wage. You guys should have been shutting stuff down right then. But then when we were saying that, you guys were saying, oh, you think they are that powerful? You think Cori Bush, AOC, and the squad can just do whatever they want? And then Cori Bush just proved you wrong because she put a lot of pressure, and then they made the Biden administration extend the moratorium. Okay. I was not nearly satisfied by that. I'd say you guys just proved me right, but there's still a lot of work to be done. Because, once again, the Supreme Court can shoot it down. There's the fact that there are a lot of people that are slipping through the cracks of the eviction moratorium. So there are a lot of people that was being left behind anyway that we were supposed to just ignore. That's what they want you to do. AOC famously put a video out there like, oh, you guys just being negative Nancy's. We got a big victory here. You guys should learn to celebrate. I'm like, no. Like, people are still going homeless. Why should I celebrate a half victory? That's not even a victory because the eviction moratorium was temporary. And it was the fact that the Supreme Court may shoot it down. So they were celebrating prematurely because this was just a photo shoot for them. They were just PR for them. And, once again, the privileged managerial left fell for it. Or maybe they are complicit. I think that's probably the best way to put it. Right? They was complicit. Because they know the squad, the role of Justice Democrats and progressive politicians is to do PR for the Democratic Party. So there was a great PR moment for them. But meanwhile, people who are actually serious about politics, we were seeing what was happening, and we was like, okay, this is not the victory you guys are claiming it's going to be. Let's see what you guys say in the comments. Yeah, E. Heller, this is a great comment. What have they done since the stunt? Did they try to extend an UI? Nope. Try to get rents and mortgage back payments for pandemic lockdown months? Nope. Get health care for anyone? Nope. Living wage? Nope. Yes, that's what we were saying. There was a lot of people that just, and once again, these are the privileged people. Because these are people who have nothing to lose. These are people that are already comfortable. And they are obsessed with us praising politicians. They get so mad when we don't praise politicians. They want us to praise politicians so bad. They're like, oh, why can't you guys just take the win? Because it's not a win. People are still being left behind. And there's still a lot of work that you guys are not doing. As E. Heller was pointing out. And Afeni actually confronted the squad. My friend Hampton left his sister at the steps. And she said, why are you guys not calling for canceling rent? Because there's certain lines that they're not allowed to cross. They go only as far left as the Democratic Party will allow them to go. They wasn't allowed to even mentioning the idea of canceling rent. Because they are shepherds of the Overton window. That's their role now. A-Box went hard in the paint. Cori Bush is a capitalist bootlicker, and so the rest of the squad, sadly. There's no fixing that. There's no fixing American politics. The only way is Revolutionary Vanguard Party led by BIPOC and LGBTQ people establishing a socialist nation built on the foundation of proletariat internationalism and socialism. Well said. Well said, A-Box. That's why we said we got to have a black-led movement. K. Hopper says it's important to acknowledge when politicians are right. I don't think it is, to be honest. I see what she was saying. I know what tweet you guys talking about. I see what she was saying. I don't think Katie was as bad as a lot of other people. Roxanne said, you are right. There is a huge class divide. And these are the people who got the biggest platform. And that's why Fred the left has been a shock to the system and a shock to the system with the left. Because we giving people the perspective of like poor black leftists that they would never get. So while the professional managerial left wants you to praise all the politicians for small stuff they do, we are part of the class that most likely will be slipping through the cracks. So we're the ones who are like, wait, why are you happy right now? Why are you happy right now? We for the first time have the kind of platform where we can rain on their parade. We have the privileged managerial left who has a monopoly on the flow of information, meaning independent media, and they still do in a way, because our views is nothing compared to the views of a Sam Cedar, of a Vosh, of a David Pacman, or the Rational National. We're not even close to them, despite the fact that Fred Hampton leftists has done well the last few months. We're not even close. So they still have a monopoly on flow of information, but at least we are becoming a powerful unit that can shatter the narratives, and that's why Fred Hampton leftists gotten so popular. Because while there was demanding everyone to celebrate and praise the squad, we was like, wait, no. There are people that are being left behind. If any actually showed up and approached the politicians, our homie Max Blumenthal approached Cori Bush, and they were shown they had no plan. They were just a PR operation. Skip has a very interesting point of view. I want to see what you guys' take on this is. He on the YouTube side. The Supreme Court decision is correct. Congress needs to do its job. I want to say the Supreme Court decision is correct. I see their logic. But saying that eviction moratorium extension is unconstitutional, how does that make sense? That doesn't make sense. So I don't actually agree with the decision at all, but I see the logic, because they're saying this is Congress should be doing this. And that is what real leftists were saying from day one. Like, you guys are praising eviction moratorium that was set for like 8 weeks. Meanwhile, Congress is doing nothing about the homelessness crisis. The squad, Cori Bush, Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, they're doing nothing to put pressure on the Democratic Party lawmakers that are implementing anti-homelessness um, bills and laws. QKR said Biden is not brave. He's currently demanding immediate retribution and rain anger on enemies. He's a warmonger. I have a lot to say about that as well. The Afghanistan thing. Cause guess who predicted it? I was so close to being on the money. You guys want to see what I'm talking about? Cause during when our Fred Hampton left his roundtables, I might clip this later. I literally told you guys what was gonna happen, and now we gotta wait to see what happens because there's a possibility now that Biden may use the fact that American soldiers were just killed to escalate U.S. imperialism in Afghanistan and the Middle East. We would have to see. I'm gonna see if I can find what I said, because I mentioned this on our roundtable. I'm gonna see if I can find it. I know it was like around 54 minutes. Check this out. Look at this prediction, guys. Once again, it wasn't like 100% because I said Taliban instead of ISIS, but you guys see what I'm gonna say, right?
Are you an anti-imperialist or not? Because as an anti-imperialist, that means you're still involved, and that's why I was telling you guys. Now they already starting the mission creep. The mission creep being like, oh, we may have to keep troops here longer until we can make sure all the Americans are safe. And this is what they just said yesterday. It may be past the August 30th deadline. That's what they call a mission creep. So now what's gonna happen in 2 weeks? In 2 weeks, I can easily see them saying the headline like, oh my God, the Taliban killed the American soldier, and then we got to send some more troops.
You see that? The only thing I didn't get right was I said it was the Taliban that would kill American soldiers, but now it's like ISIS or whatever. So I was wrong on who killed them. But you guys see my prediction? I literally said that I can easily see a situation where American soldiers are killed and that is used as justification. So do you guys see what I'm saying? Am I right there? Do you guys see the prediction? I want to get your guys' thoughts. Here, I bitch screen it this time. I'm going to go with it one more time. I want you guys to comment whether I was right or wrong here.
Creep being like, oh, we may have to keep troops here longer until we can make sure all the Americans are safe. And this is what they just said yesterday. It may be past the August 30th deadline. Video. Hold up. That's what they call a mission creep. So now what's going to happen in 2 weeks? In 2 weeks, I can easily see them saying the headline like, oh my God, the Taliban killed the American soldier. And then, we got to send some more troops because this is what they do. So what I'm saying that we gotta maintain the most amount.
But I don't know why I'm not video there, but you guys heard what I said? I literally said I can literally see them using the death of American troops to justify investing in more troops in the region, and that's exactly what they're doing, right? I was thinking about clipping that. I want to give you guys thoughts. You guys see my prediction there? Super obvious, and we won't know for a long time. But a lot of this stuff has CIA written all over it. Because you think they're gonna allow the war in Afghanistan to end that easily, you are mistaken. I will never discount the possibility of the war in Afghanistan ending, but as an anti-imperialist, my position always was: if we're out, we're out. But now I can see this as them justifying even more covert operations in Afghanistan. Yeah, William said clip it. I'm going to clip it. I think I just downloaded it. But you guys see what I'm saying? I think the video messed up right at the end. Let me see if I can fix it. I don't know what's going on with my browser. Hold on. Give me 1 second, guys. I'll see if I can fix this. So this is about to look weird for a second. So I got to reset it. 1 second. Hold up. So I'm going to click that and put it on a few seconds like, yo, dude, look at this prediction. See, look, I just had to reset it. I don't know why. I don't know why it was messing up. But I'm proud of myself for that. I'm not going to lie. But the thing is, I kind of want to wait because I still got to see what they're going to do. But Biden just said that they're going to do everything they can to avenge the soldiers. Like I said they would do. See, one more time, play it one more time. Let me know if I'm on point, because I think I am. The only thing I said that wasn't true in my prediction was I thought it was going to be the Taliban that may kill an American soldier, but it was ISIS. That's the only thing that was different.
Like, oh my God, the Taliban killed an American soldier.
See?
And then, we got to send some more troops because this is what they do. So what I'm saying that we gotta maintain the most amount of
All
skeptic.
right. I think I seen what I was saying enough, right? So boom. Thoughts? All right. Let's go over some more eviction moratorium stuff because that's the main concern I have right now. Yeah, Rockstock times out. I honestly did not expect ISIS. I know they're trying hard for an Al Qaeda reboot, but they just want to surprise the audience with a villain you least suspect. That's funny. David Williams said, we actually are funding ISIS in Syria to fight Assad, but now we need to fight ISIS in Afghanistan, who is also the enemy of the Taliban." Like, people have no idea how ridiculous U.S. imperialism actually is in our strategies. Like, we will fund ISIS in one area, but then we will claim we fighting ISIS in another area. That's how ridiculous U.S. foreign policy is. And the more people knew, you would see a massive anti-war movement develop. But a lot of people simply don't know, unfortunately. There's something else I wanted to show you guys as well, which is kind of another prediction I made. I don't know exactly when I said it, but I covered before how when you had the rental assistance that was part of what they were trying to do, the rental assistance, like 89% of the rental assistance, I'm going to see if I can find the source here. 89% of the rental assistance wasn't distributed already. Here it is. I found it. So that was already a red flag. Now, going back to the eviction moratorium, this was already a red flag. Because it's almost like they was waiting for the Supreme Court decision to come down. I'll move my head for a second so you guys can see the head. You see, and this was a few days ago. About 89% of rental assistance funds have not been distributed. So they wasn't even following through with this shoddy program. And this is the same thing that happened during the Obama homelessness crisis. They claimed they was going to have all the relief funds that never went out. And now they just shot down the moratorium. So I think almost like they were delaying and waiting for that to happen, right? Roxanne said, I think the CIA is showing Biden who really runs the United States. What is the argument against abolishing the CIA? The pro-CIA shit-libs and liberals are some of the most confusing / frustrating people in politics. Because everyone knows the history of the CIA. At least most people who are politically engaged. And if you're ignorant, you're ignorant. I'll actually give pass for people who are ignorant. But I find it very telling that people know about how the CIA destabilized governments. They know about Operation Condor. They learn about all the time they destabilized leftist movement, and they tortured and killed countless people, a lot of innocent people in the global South. And that's just one small bit of their crimes. They're responsible for insane amount of crimes against humanity. So it's pretty insane to me that people see the history of the CIA, they see what they're still doing, and they're like, yeah, let's keep that. Let's keep that. Yeah, the CIA and the drug war. I'm going to do a history of the CIA series on Fred Hampton Leftists here very soon. I got a few good guests in mind for that. But if you don't know the history of the CIA, you don't know American history. You got a very surface level view of American history. So if you do know the history of the CIA and you're against abolishing that means you're just saying, oh, it's cool. They can keep doing that stuff. And if you guys don't think the CIA is not working overtime right now, the CIA has 20,000 employees. Do you guys see those 20,000 CIA employees? And that's just the one on the books. They got a ton that's not even on the books. Do you really think those 20,000 CIA employees are sitting around doing nothing? No, they're doing CIA shit. Yep. David said Congress approved $46 billion to help renters and gave it to governors of states that are against mass vaccinations to hand out. Perfect plan. Skip on YouTube said, you can't have an anti-war movement when the military-industrial complex owns the Democratic Party. They own most of the Republican Party. But post-1989 purchasing of the Dem Party has really paid off. That's why I said earlier, and I made a mistake earlier on the stream. Like, I still trying to stop myself. I try to tell people to retire the term corporate Democrat. That term has to go. There's no such thing as corporate Democrats. Well, there is corporate Democrats, but that's an oxymoron. There are just Democrats. The Democratic Party is a capitalist and imperialist party, and every member is following a Biden agenda. The squad and them was Ilhan Omar just helped give Israel a weapons deal. The squad and Bernie has no real critique of Biden imperialism, U.S. imperialism. AOC was very vocal when Trump bombed Syria, but then when Joe Biden bombed Syria, she had nothing to say. So if you are supportive of this party that's continuing war crimes, that is ramping up the military-industrial complex, which is polluting our environment, you are a corporate Democrat. If you're voting with the Democrat Party, if you're not disrupting their agenda, let's see what Rome had to say. Rome just texted me. Alright, I might have to share that on Twitter. That's funny. I'm glad that Rome was on the roundtable today. Alright, let's see if I can find some more information on the moratorium. You guys, anything you guys want to share? But that's my little spill on the whole corporate Democrats. If you're working with the Democrat Party, if you vote for Nancy Pelosi, you want me to differentiate between you and a corporate Democrat? Nah, not gonna happen. You guys are propping up a corporate party. I don't care what you guys call yourselves. Now they take our money, like LC did. They took our money and they fund the CIA and the corporate Democrats. But they want me to give them the benefit of the doubt and say, "Oh, you're not a corporate Democrat." Yeah, if you guys don't know, QKR said it was good seeing Rome. Rome been putting a lot of work on TikTok. I'm gonna try to transition TikTok. I'm gonna try to help Rome out on TikTok. But if you're not on the Fred Hampton left of TikTok, you've been missing out because Rome has been dropping some great videos on there. And that's what Rome's primary focus has been ever since he was banished on Twitter again. So make sure you gotta check out the Fred Hampton leftist TikTok. Because I'm actually going to start putting a lot of our video clips on there because he did an incredible job. I agree with you, Skip. Skip said you're focusing too much on the CIA. It's the entire intelligence community that is at fault. I agree with you 100%. The CIA is like the most evil. That's like the most easily recognizable. But U.S. intelligence community is, once again, they're just agents of imperialism. They're agents of massive amount of death. So they're all evil. They're all massively. I don't want you to say incompetent. I was about to say massively incompetent, but they know exactly what they're doing, and they're getting exactly the results they want. Because you can look at the situation in Afghanistan, and then what liberals were saying. Liberals were saying, "Oh, Afghanistan was just an intelligence failure." There was no intelligence failure in Afghanistan, guys. I hope you guys realize that, right? Where was the intelligence failure? Because they accomplished exactly what they wanted. Raytheon, Boeing, and weapon defense contractors got rich. That was the goal, and they did it. They ran a massive drug trade in Afghanistan. So where was the intelligence failure? They did exactly what they want, but they want you to think they're incompetent. So I always gotta be very careful when I speak because I think the narrative that we speak actually says a lot. I think it's very important. All the 3-letter agencies gotta go. They will always have fun with conservatives because conservatives, they always want to pretend that they are small government. But I'm like, bro, I'll flank y'all on small government. You guys say you guys support the concept but don't tread on me. But you guys are supportive of giant police budgets, giant military budgets. You guys are supportive of the FBI, the CIA, TSA. There's just all that stuff had to go. Get rid of ICE, NHS. Actually, get rid. All this stuff had to go. DHS, sorry, the Department of Homeland Security. I said NHS. The Department of Homeland Security gotta go because that falls under ICE. Bill Bradley said the Capitol Police is being turned into the only intelligence agency that will exist that will never be subjugated to the Freedom of Information Act request. Wow. I actually did not know that, Bill. So he said the Capitol Police is essentially an intelligence agency, but they won't be subjected to the Freedom of Information Act. That's crazy. Because the Freedom of Information Act is how we know about all the terrible stuff the CIA has done. The Freedom of Information Act is how we know how the CIA infiltrates and co-op leftist movements. And that's why I've been warning people about with these boutique managerial leftists who always want to slow down movements. And I was telling people I'm not saying they're CIA. I'm saying they're doing exactly what the CIA wants them to do. So this year, I shared this before. I think this is super important for all leftists to know, so you guys can acknowledge who are bad faith actors. So once again, this is not me saying that you're part of the CIA. This is me. Actually, I'm gonna tweet this because I think I'll turn this to a segment because that's a good kind of our bill. Discussing how the CIA co-ops leftist movements. A lot of progressives, I am not saying are CIA, but they engage in their tactics and the CIA would be proud. So I wasn't planning on this segment, but I think like this is super important to know. As a leftist, I remember I read about this actually years ago, and I had to repeat this. I sent this out around June 2021. Oh yeah, I see. Oris Fear said, "Oh yeah, they're definitely CIA." Probably, but the thing is, I don't have to say they CIA. I'm saying that you guys are doing the exact same thing the CIA wants you to do. So, what does that say about you? Even if you're not CIA, that you're using CIA tactics to slow down worker class and leftist movements. So now let's go into this. And once again, I brought this up because Bill brought up the Freedom of Information Act. This is how we know about this stuff. So I tweeted this about around January 28th because this is when it was getting ridiculous. With the amount of people who was like attacking the Medicare for All march, the amount of people who was pretty much decrying any outside pressure towards the establishment because they rather us shut up and trust the plan just as Democrats in the squad. That's what they want us to do. So whenever there's any actions that goes outside the plan of the Justice Democrats of being nice to the Democrat Party, they hate it. Now, a lot of the things they were attacking the Medicare for All march, when I saw their attacks, the fact that it didn't set off alarm bells on other leftists is deeply discerning to me because I read about this years ago, I was like, bro, you guys are following CIA tactics. You guys don't believe me? Look at this. Don't pay attention to highlight it because all this stuff is useful. Let's see if I can make it a little bigger for you guys. But you see, I don't know if you guys can see it. Hopefully you guys can. I think you guys can. But insist on doing everything through channels. Never permit shortcuts to be taken in order to expedite decisions. So this is all about slowing down momentum in the movement. So when we have Force to Vote, when we had the Medicare for All marches, when we are playing the general strike right now, that a lot of these people are talking, saying, "Oh, we can't do a general strike. That's ridiculous." You notice that they want us to go through the proper channels. They want us to slow down, no shortcut. We got to do things by that because they want to slow our movement down. They want to kill our movement, and that's what they do. That's number one. Now let's go to number 3. When possible, refer all matters to committees. When possible, refer all matters to committees for further study and consideration. That's the people who are like, oh, I don't know we can do this. I don't know we can do force to vote. I don't know we can march for Medicare for All. 7, I think this is more what I was talking about. Advocate caution. You guys see that? 7 is probably what they are most guilty of. We gotta be cautious on every approach. Because, if we force to vote on Medicare for All, we had the Medicare for All marches, it may not work. If we fight for Medicare for All, it will kill our movement. That's what Pramila Jayapal said. You see the advocate caution stuff? Because they want us to slow down. They want us to be nice, be reasonable. We need massive action right now, and they are trying to shut that down. Number 4 is what we've seen all the time on the Medicare for All marches, where we had a speaker who was deemed undesirable, and we immediately fixed that with the Medicare for All marches. That was something that was handled weeks and weeks and weeks before the march, when it was infiltrated by some bad faith actor, and then all the people who was against the Medicare for All marches kept bringing that up, even though they already fixed that problem over and over again in order to delegitimize the march and make people skeptical of people involved in the march. So we was like, so anyone who was involved in Medicare for All march, anyone who was supportive of it, we kept saying, why you guys keep bringing up this old problem that we already fixed with the speaker that they booked that infiltrated us, who was like some sort of like a neo-Nazi troll or something. But we fixed it. We immediately kicked him off, and the problem was solved. But the same bad faith actors kept bringing that up weeks and weeks after that. See, once again, that's number 4. Bring up irrelevant issues as much as possible. 8, be worried about the propriety of any decision. So any decision that is made, we got to question it. You got to be skeptical of the activists, right? Anyway, that's the CIA tactic. That's CIA tactics. And I see progressives do this all the time. There are a lot read there, but I think the one I read was the most relevant to what I've seen recently. What's your guys' thoughts? What's your guys' thoughts? I have progressives telling me to back off Medicare for All. Wow. This is William. He said, I'll fight and die on the hill for Medicare for All. You know, they don't even fight for a public option no more. Because the Justice Democrats, they was open about the fact that their main priority right now is to pass the Biden agenda. They don't want to push Biden to the left. Whatever Biden says agenda, they probably fight for the most left items out of the agenda. But they're not interested in pushing the dialogue to the left. So Biden dropped the public option. So they're not even fighting for the public option anymore, let alone Medicare for All. To the point where that was even reported by the mainstream media. You guys think I'm making this up? Once again, I got sources for you guys. I got receipts. I always bring the receipts. The health insurance public option might be fizzling. The left is okay with that. Right now, AOC was doing Instagram lives preaching to her supporters about the benefits of Cobra. That's the kind of stuff they're doing right now. Yeah, Bill Bradley said, follow the process of the boutique like the PNCI extract. Yeah, that's exactly why I don't give these people any validity. Whenever I see these people criticize our movement, I immediately call them out as bad fake actors, because even if you're not CIA, if you're repeating CIA tactics to slow down leftist movement, you're a CIA asset, whether you know it or not. So it's super important to study and learn about this kind of stuff. Because I've seen a lot of people who I used to like, and then I saw them fall for these tactics where they were all of a sudden distrustful of the Medicare for All march. They're distrustful of a general strike, distrustful of all this stuff the activists are working on, because they fell for the CIA tactics. They heard people advise caution. They heard people say you're not going through the proper channels, that you don't have the privileged managerial left in charge. So, all right, let's go back to the moratorium. So now, because now they're saying that Congress has to act on the eviction moratorium. So now the Biden administration and the Democrat Party, who control the entire government, they have to own this. And the liberal class, I'm telling you guys right now what they're going to do. They're going to blame the Supreme Court. They're going to say that this homelessness crisis is because of the right-wing Supreme Court, which is kind of true. It's kind of true. But the Democrat Party have full control of the government, and they could have passed the eviction moratorium through Congress. They don't even want to try to do that because, once again, they're donors. Like BlackRock was a giant donor to Kamala Harris and Democrats. A lot of these giant landlord institutions are donors to the Democratic Party. So the Democratic Party is very loyal to them. So they don't want to publicly support. They don't want to put their name on a standing eviction moratorium and piss off their donors. But they also know that a lot of corporate Democrats, because they don't care about how they look, they know the Democrats will vote against it if actually put up a vote in the House, which will expose their party. That's another reason why they didn't want to do this. But the onus is on them. So liberals are going to blame the Supreme Court, but as leftists, we got to say, yeah, the Supreme Court is a deeply problematic institution that need massive reform or even abolishment. But this is on you guys because you guys knew this was going to happen. Like, we all knew when the eviction moratorium was going to expire. And now you guys want to pretend that you guys were caught off guard? Preposterous. I'm going to see if I can find some more information on the eviction story. See, look, I already knew they was gonna be. I already knew they was gonna do this. See, look, I'm looking at what the shit libs are saying. Mehdi Hassan said we need to pack the court. See, they're just going right to the court. But I think once again, this is on the Democrats because they could have extended the eviction moratorium themselves. They just choose not to. See, they're just going to have to scold us, which I see why they're doing that, but. This is on Biden and Democrats. Let's see what Cori Bush has said. Cori Bush on the SCOTUS decision. I urge my colleagues to reflect on the humanity of every single one of their unhoused or soon-to-be unhoused neighbors and support a legislation solution to this eviction. Why do you guys go on vacation? They went on vacation and they want to celebrate the victory when you guys should have been prepared for this. They should have been prepared for this. But you're like, oh no, let's take our victories while we had. There was no victory. At what point was there a victory? Now they want to act like they're surprised. Oh, see, this is why we need to come together as a country. No, that was your chance. Your chance was when you had the media attention with your stunt. When you were sleeping at the Capitol. Which I'm not mad at. Because all political actions are performative. So I'm not even mad at them because a lot of people are like, oh, that's performative. That same thing the managerial left said when we have any of our actions. Oh, there's no point of doing that because that's performative. That's the only thing they always say. All actions are performative. Most of the actions in the civil rights movement, like the bus sit-ins, restaurant sit-ins, these things are performative actions that are meant to spur action. So whenever you see someone say, oh, we shouldn't support this action because it's performative, they don't know what they're talking about because that's what political activism is. Political activism is performance. But it's what that performance actually leads to. Now, you had a chance to put on performance art of a lifetime with the media paying attention to your sleepover at the Capitol. But you guys decided not to. When you guys had all the pressure on the Biden administration, all the pressure on the party, you guys let up even though they didn't finish the job. And now you guys want to say, oh, yeah, Supreme Court put it on Congress, so let's actually find a solution. Too late. How many people are about to go homeless? Hey, this is my brother Kareem. How you doing? This is either Kareem or Peter on BetBeat. Yeah, BetBeat. How you doing? I think this is Peter or Kareem. I don't know which one. I love talking to them. This is my personal YouTube channel. I need to start streaming on this often. At this point, I've been doing it like once a week. We got Sal in the house as well on Twitch. Sal is on Twitch. How you doing, Sal? From Twitter, I just rated you. Always good to see Sal. She's a pretty powerful comrade. Let's see. We about an hour in too. See, you did hit the raid, huh? Next time I'll link the Twitter on there. But yeah, I was saying, like, people got mad at Frank and leftists because we was telling people that we should not be celebrating Cori Bush's action, and now people are now starting to realize it. So isn't it funny how we always right? People get upset at us when we're right, but then now they're like, oh, see, what are we supposed to do? The eviction moratorium was just shot down by the Supreme Court, and everyone knew that was going to happen. Everyone knew that was going to happen. Inherent in the argument of blaming the GOP for being obstructionists is the admission that the DNC is inept and the GOP is better at politics. It is an admission of being bad at your job. Yeah, they are bad at their job because, and this is what I tell people, they were trying to blame leftists for the Supreme Court failure, right? Thank you for all the new followers, by the way. But the Supreme Court being taken over by the right wing is because of the failures of Barack Obama, Nancy Pelosi, and Joe Biden. They was completely outmaneuvered, and also Hillary Clinton, Steny Hoyer, Chuck Schumer. All these people are responsible for a right wing Supreme Court. They're not lefties. Their job is to defeat the Republicans and win elections, and they did not do that because they turned their back on the working class people. So when you implement Clinton economics and you shift to the right and you lose an entire generation, and when Obama runs as somewhat progressive and shifts to the right and then proceeds to lose 1,000 seats while he is in office, and you guys don't pressure Ruth Bader Ginsburg to step down, I don't know what to say to you other than the fact that Mitch McConnell outmaneuvered you guys. A party with a deeply unpopular platform, a deeply unserious party, you guys allowed to outmaneuver you. So, you guys lost a very crucial election in 2016 because Barack Obama was a massive disappointment and the Supreme Court shifted to the right. That's on party leadership. That's not on us. So that comment's on point. The corporate Democrats are designed to lose. They always lose. And they always want to blame everything else. That's the same thing that happened with Nina Turner. When Nina Turner lost, they wanted to spend their time blaming everyone else except the professional managerial left who ran a horrible campaign. They had low voter turnout in that race because they didn't have volunteers. Because a lot of people that supported the squad didn't care about them anymore. I talked to a lot of people who, just like me, I quit my job and I canvassed for Bernie Sanders. I canvassed for the progressive movement. Who was like, after seeing the squad buckle to Nancy Pelosi and be weak on Joe Biden, be weak on imperialism, be weak on countless issues. We were like, why would we spend our time donating, canvassing, and investing in electoral politics? So that is why Nina lost, because a lot of people who otherwise would have got involved in that race and helped her get voter turnout up decided not to do that anymore. Thomas said you can't be outmaneuvered if you're on the same team. That's another great way to look at it. Because one thing I always tell people is blast to the kayfabe of politics. The Democrats want to lose in 2022. That's why they run on giant police budgets. Because if the Democratic Party loses in 2022, they can then run on the platform they decided to abandon. So they ran on the platform of a public option, $15 minimum wage, they're actually going to fight climate change, all this like incrementalism nonsense. But they abandoned that. But that's okay because even though they abandoned that platform that helped them win, when they lose in 2022, that allows them in 2024 to turn around and say, hey, yo, if we win, if you guys elect us, if we take the House and Senate back, we will do a $15 minimum wage. We'll cancel student loan debt. You see how the cycle keep going? They make big promises. They take over the entire government. They don't actually implement none of the promises that they had. And then they run on the promises they failed to deliver it on. It's actually very ingenious. It's very ingenious. And Americans, we've seen it all the time. They have such short memory spans. They forget about the fact that the Democrats didn't do anything they said they was going to run on. So then Joe Biden, they make a progressive task force. And then people wonder why they want to vote for Joe Biden, even though he was like, I'm going to cancel student loan debt. I'm going to increase the minimum wage. I'm going to implement a public option. And people are like, how can you not vote for Joe Biden when he said that? Because they're like, bro, I heard this story before. How do you guys keep falling for it? You guys really believe what a politician is saying during a high-profile election? How does that make sense? But people still fall for it over and over again. It was to the point where Democrats were even shocked that they took over the House. They were shocked that they had Senate gains. I covered that in my story. I wonder if I can find a link. I don't think I can because that was a while ago. All right, let's get to some chats before I wrap up the stream. We're about an hour in, so since we're an hour in, I'll take some questions. or if you guys have anything you want to comment on, we can talk about that. But I want to try to keep these streams to about an hour, 90 minutes, around that time. So now it's time to leave some comments. Everybody said, I never vote. It's pointless. Local politics is where it's at. We just had a Medicaid expansion in Missouri that got through via ballot initiative. When I say that people should, like, a lot of people have this debate about what should be the split in our focus. There's some people that say we should abandon electoral politics altogether. And then there's the people that I strongly disagree with that say, oh, we should invest a ton into electoral politics. This is more of like the Sam Cedar, Voss, TYT left, where if you ask them to break down on percentage, they will say we should invest in electoral politics around about 80, 90% of our energy. That's ridiculous to me. That's really what they believe. My percent, OD Gaming said 5%. I would say maybe 15% of our energy go to electoral politics. And that's literally only for like local mayor races. I think like you can run for a police commissioner. Like if we ever got like a lefty police commissioner, they can make a lot of good changes and ballot initiatives. Because ballot initiatives, you don't have to rely on politicians. We got a medical marijuana in Missouri. We got a minimum wage increase, and we got a Medicare expansion that was the Republican governor tried to strike it down. Let me see if I can show you guys a story. The Missouri governor that we have here trying to strike down our Medicaid expansion. And then the Supreme Court ruled that unconstitutional. Oh man, hopefully I can find it. I covered this before, man. I got so many links to say. I don't know if I can find it fast enough. See, this is like I think I found this one. See, look, this shows the before, like this one here. Like this is when they try to block the bill, the Republicans in Missouri. The follow-up story is the fact that the Supreme Court shut it down. I was just having a hard time. I just need to find the link to that story I covered earlier. So let's see what Abot's reasoning is. Abot 400 said, voting in a bourgeoisie democracy is pointless. As soon as you come close to socialism, the facade of democracy fades away and you get a full-blown fascist state. Think of Chile, think of Bolivia, and think of Guatemala. Very interesting. Once again, I don't think there's going to be massive societal change that is brought up by electoral politics and people that put a lot of energy in electoral politics. Especially after seeing the failed experiment that I actually believed in. I believed in the concept of taking over the Democrat Party at first. But then after seeing the Justice Democrats in action, I now see it's kind of a waste of leftist resources to do that. I think right now we gotta adjust with the times. We live in an expanding police state. Our police state is expanding right now. We have a climate crisis that is being ignored. We have a massive homelessness crisis that is going on right now. We just covering the eviction moratorium was just struck down by the Supreme Court. A ton of people about to go homeless. And you guys still want to focus on electoral politics? Our focus right now should be surviving this this late stage capitalist hellhole that we live in right now. This expanding police state that we live in right now. That should be our focus. So it should be focused on building mutual aid society. It should be focused on building a proper labor momentum that we need in order to sustain a general strike. Because the people who speak out against a general strike, they say, oh, we need strong labor protection. We need a massive amount of mutual aid and strike funds available. So my thing is we should start on that right now. So if you guys know it's hard, why are you guys don't want to start? I want to start right now. And me and CJ was talking about this yesterday, actually, where at Fred Hampton Leftist, we were thinking about having a giant, maybe like a 12-hour all-day marathon where we invite a ton of people to discuss the general strike and how we get started. Like I want to have people like Chris Hedges on. I want to have Professor Wolf on. I want to bring Breonna Joy Gray on. Hell, we can even get Jimmy Dore and them on. Right? Like have a ton of people just discuss what it would mean to start a general strike so we can get the conversation started. Meanwhile, the CIA left. They just want us to be quiet, play nice, shut up and trust the plan. That's literally the entirety of their plan. Shut up, trust the plan. If we have any problem with the Justice Democrats, we're being unreasonable because they know what best. They have our best interests at heart. That what Bernie was telling Crystal Ball when Crystal Ball was grilling him on why he not challenging Biden. He was like, "Oh, you guys don't know the conversations that me and Biden had behind the scenes. I don't trust what the fuck you guys were talking about behind the scenes." That's the mindset of shut up and trust the plan that we have. Flectron said it won't work without union support. So yeah, we need work on getting union support. So everyone who say all these different reasons why the general strike won't work, I'm not even saying you guys are wrong, but why not work to fix that problem? Because there is no doubt in my mind that we need a general strike. It's whether a lot of people who are arguing and saying, "Oh, we can't have a general strike for this reason or that reason." It seems like you guys just don't want to have a general strike. You guys don't think it's justified. But we live in 11 million people are going homeless. We have workers' rights that are being peeled back. Like there are jobs that are forcing people to work 7 days a week, 12-hour days. The 40-hour work week is essentially non-existent now. You have companies that is hiring 13 and 14-year-olds. So the labor movement that our ancestors fought for have been peeled away by our ruling class. But you guys don't think it's time for a general strike? Things are getting so bad for the American people that the Democrats and Republicans vote unanimously to expand the police state. And don't get it twisted, guys. The reason why they are doing that because they know people are going to get desperate. Things are going to continue to get worse. So they are expanding the police state in order to adjust to late state capitalism and to keep social order. That's why they are spending the massive police budgets, despite the fact that the police budgets do nothing to reduce crime, because it's about maintaining social order, despite the fact that people do not have the money or the means to take care of themselves anymore. People are waking up and realizing that our society is a giant lie. So you need to expand the police budget in order to keep the masses in control. That's why you had police officers that are forcibly evicting homelessness camps with ARs in their hand. It's a class war. You guys got to understand that. See, yeah, I hear you. I'm glad we got Cream in the house. If you guys ain't subscribed to Bet Beat Media, make sure you gotta check them out. We gotta plan another international leftist coalition panel. Kareem, if you're still watching, yeah, I think Kareem's still here. We gotta plan another international leftist coalition panel because the last one was amazing. The response was amazing, and I'm dead serious about that. I really think we need to be an international left. We need to start building the proper mechanisms to establish that. So, we have anything else that we should cover? Cause we about over an hour, and I think we could wrap up. Oh, jeez. I still have a few more stories I could cover, but I'm gonna try to keep these 2 hours so I can be more consistent. So far, it's been a weekly show, but let's see. I might jump on sometime this weekend at night. Yeah, Chief Sandwich, I understand. He said asking people to walk off the job is a lot. That's why it's a lot of work. Because we got to have the funds and the strike funds necessary in order to help pay people's bills. We got to be ready for all that stuff. It's a lot. So since it's a lot of work in order to establish the mutual aid needed for people to quit working, why not get started right now? Yeah, we do need to do it regular. I got a lot of international leftist comrades I know that, like, we had Josana, we had a Finney on last time with you and Kareem Patesh and Peter Beatty and Assault Rad, but we got a lot of people we invite on. Hey, boss, I like your guest recommendation because they are Marxist-Leninists. Anyone who's a Marxist-Leninist, I'm down to talk to. Marxist-Leninism is dope. Sorry, I was about to say something else, but then I forgot what I was about to say, so I was like, Marxist-Leninism is dope. I don't remember what I was about to say. That's how you know it's about time to wrap the stream up. I'll just read some last comments before we wrap up, so now if you guys got any comments, now it's time to leave them. Christine, on the YouTube side, the Democrat Party was already taken over by centrist Republicans, starting with Clinton. That's why policies have favored corporatism over people. Class war. Yeah, I'll stream here more often. I got a lot of Twitch people. I think that's thanks to Sal. Sal did a Twitch raid. We got a lot of people on Twitch watching. So yeah, I'll be here. I'll stream on my Twitch much more often because FHL is really sustainable now. And I want to give you guys thoughts on this because we had our roundtable today, our Thursday roundtable. We were thinking about moving our roundtable on Saturday for availability reasons because there are a lot of people that are not available now. So we're going to move our main roundtable on Saturday, and I'm probably going to have a series where we have like a smaller roundtable on like Tuesday or Sunday, something like that. So I think that's what we're going to do now. Friends and Leftists is growing. It's very exciting because we got a lot of great things planned, and that's another one of them. Yeah, thank you guys for watching. Yeah, I'll be on Twitch more and my YouTube channel more because this is when I usually do my solo, which I like the best. Guests are great, panels are great, but sometimes I just want to cover what I want to cover. And when you have guests, when you have panels, you don't cover all the topics of interest. I'm glad things are taking off. They are more people every stream I'll come to. Yep. I used to get a lot of people on my Twitch, but I dropped my Twitch to build FHL. But now I get my regular viewers back. So anyway, if you guys enjoy the stream, if you guys want to support the citizen journalism I do, the Patreon is here. Patreon, Socialist MMA. That's a great way to support. Super chats are great, but don't pay YouTube. Don't pay YouTube. My Cash App and Venmo is actually the exact same. Socialist MMA as well. So small donations are always welcome. Very tough out here, working as an independent journalist. So we do got. I'm saying I'm not mad at super chats. Thank you for super chat cheese sandwich. So you got guest requests, Kylie Akuno, Cooperation Jackson. Yeah, we need some guest recommendations at Friend and Leftists. I want to see. I got a few big names I'm working on right now. I'm gonna try and get Dr. Cornel West come on a Finny's episode here soon. But yeah, I think I covered mostly everything I want to cover with the eviction moratorium. But this is why you guys don't praise politicians. This is the last thing I'm saying. This is why you don't praise politicians till the deed is done. Period. Actually, let's see what Cori Bush had to say. This is Cori Bush's tweet. At this point, I'm just looking for more stuff to kind of talk about before we wrap up. Cori Bush said, "We were outside the Capitol for 5 days. Rain, heat, and cold. You should have been there longer. That's what it's your job. That's why we pay you. If they think this partisan ruling is going to stop us from fighting to keep people housed, they're wrong. Congress needs to act immediately. You guys are the ones who want to take vacation. It was us that was saying you guys should keep fighting. But they didn't. So now they're saying this is a partisan ruling, even though this falls, like I said, it's our job to reframe stuff. It falls on the Democratic Party because they knew this was going to happen. You guys knew the eviction moratorium was going to expire. And you guys decided to wait till the last second to do something about it. You guys relied on the Biden administration and Supreme Court instead of rallying the Congress months in advance in order to get this done. Thank you for the shout out, QKR. Yeah, the more support we get from the left, the more support we get all this stuff, is more we can actually do like real direct action stuff. So, any support would be great. But yeah, so tweet sounds great, but I know what you could have done. And I remember when we have activists that was demanding you guys fight more, do more. You guys didn't want to. You guys, LC Famous had a video. We were like, we guys stop being negative Nancy. Let's celebrate this victory. Do you guys feel like celebrating a victory now? Now do you feel like celebrating a victory? I don't. This is what this is Jane. I'm glad I saw this tweet here. Because this is what I was kind of mentioning earlier. This is what we should be doing right now. $2,500 checks. If you look at how much the billionaire class has made, they made trillions of dollars. I think the number is like $8 trillion since the start of the pandemic now. If you look at the money they made, we can easily afford all that stuff. If you did all this stuff, we get COVID under control. This is why people who thought that neoliberal capitalism was the answer to the pandemic was grossly, deeply unserious. Like that's all I had to say. There was literally people that thought, "Oh, when you get a Democrat in charge, they'll handle COVID better." No, I just want to see what some more of my mutuals are saying. Okay. Quinch comment says, "So is she gonna tweet and then do nothing?" And they're great at tweeting, but when it actually comes doing what we want them to do and challenging power, not about that life. So now would be a great time for Cory Bush to go back to the Capitol, right? It'd be a great time for that. Okay. But anyway, I think I covered everything we want to cover today. Um, what do we have going on Friday After Left tomorrow? I think Revolutionary Jargon is on Friday After Left tomorrow. I'll probably jump on stream again to talk about Afghanistan. So if you haven't subscribed to this YouTube channel, my Twitch, my personal one, Social Cinema, make sure you guys do that. Also, another way to support my journalism is support patreon.com/Social Cinema. If you don't want to sign to Patreon, if you rather do like direct donation, Venmo, Social Cinema, Cash App, Social Cinema is the best way to support me as well. But anyway, thank you guys for watching my stream. I'll be back sometime this weekend, and I'll be much more consistent on my personal YouTube page because FHL is pretty self-sustaining. I'm just kind of host a lot of panels on FHL and do like a news breakdown in the evening, late at night, like I'm doing now. So thank you guys for watching. This is Social Cinema. Sign out. Peace out, guys.